Hey guys, I'm back. It's Sunday afternoon here. It's pretty, although it's a little cooler today than it has been during the week. And I want to take a look at something different today. Kind of review a different kind of product. Mr. Carlos Mendez got to see me use this for the first time live on Skype a couple of days ago. But what we have here is an ultrasonic cleaner. Now, I know most people should be familiar with these. Any of them that are use an airbrush. And I bought this from a local Harbor Freight tool store. And most of the guys in the US, I would think Canada, may or may not be familiar with Harbor Freight. It's basically a Chinese tool store. That's essentially all they sell. Some of the stuff they make and they sell is actually pretty good. I've got some other power tools from this Chicago brand. That's their house brand. They're very, very inexpensive. Anyways, I have one of these, within 15 minutes of my house. I know Darren's familiar with them. Clint, I don't know, you may be familiar with Harbor Freight. Cohen, maybe. I'm not sure about him. You'll have to tell me, Michael, if you're familiar with them. So, they have a lot of inexpensive tools, and then Carlos and I have been kind of talking back and forth about getting one of these. So I went and bought one this week, and it wasn't expensive. It was like $32, $33. I could have saved $4 or $5 online buying it, but it was one of the instant gratification thing. So I wanted to take it home. I wanted to try it out. I needed something a little better than my typical, just my standard airbrush cleaning regimen. So I was kind of looking for something different. So what we have here is Chicago Electric Power Tools. Now there are many of these available for sale on eBay. They look just like this. Therefore, I am assuming they're all made in the same factory in China. So everything pretty much is made in China now. So just the brief description of what we have in the box: deep cleans jewelry in small parts safely without harsh chemicals. For professional use or home use, stainless steel tank with 16-ounce capacity. That's really nice. Quiet solid state circuitry. It's very quiet, by the way. Auto shut off after 3 minutes. Transparent view lid with interior light. 35-watt input power. Includes cleaning basket. Of course, that's all inside the box. I've got the instructions for it here. Really not much to the instructions. Now, for my friends on the other side of the pond, the European versions, of course, should be 220 volt compatible. This one, of course, would not be, and that would be the only difference is the power source. So let's take a look at the finished product, and I think I'll do a quick demo. I've got some water to use here, so I'm going to set this down. There it is, and that's all there is to it. It's not very big at all. I would say it's, I don't know, 9-10 inches wide, so it's 20 centimeters, give or take. It's got a blue LED light here that illuminates the tank, a simple on and off power button. That's really all there is to it. Power cord in the back, kind of shaped like an egg. But so now I notice a lot of guys use distilled water. I use this thing on 2 airbrushes for real, and I filled it up with Viejo airbrush cleaner to clean it. I think that distilled water or just regular tap water, it's really not strong enough. You need something with just a little bit of solvent power to it to kind of loosen the particles of dried paint and so forth on the airbrush. I can tell you that I used it to clean this Tamiya Sprayworks brush that I have reviewed previously. And it was so dirty and so clogged that you could not draw the trigger back. The channel inside where the needle was just completely clogged with dried paint. As I had when I first started using this thing, it was a few years ago, and I just was not that familiar with how to properly maintain an airbrush. Now it works like new since I've cleaned it. And to illustrate my point, I don't know if you can see this very well on the camera, you'll notice that this, for those of you who've used this Viejo cleaner, it's supposed to be clear. And you'll notice it's kind of a darkish, brownish, purplish color. There's even some particles floating in there. I was trying to recycle the fluid because the fluid's fine, but it cleaned the crud out of it. Now, I also found that one cleaning cycle, probably not enough. You might want to run it 2 or even 3 times, maybe even more. The cleaning cycles are automatic. You cannot control the duration of the time. I think it lasts 3 minutes, the manual said. So basically, to operate this thing, and you know what, I'm going to use an airbrush. I've got another Tamiya Sprayworks brush here. This one's a single action. I've only used it once or twice. So you simply open the lid, that's all. You pull out the basket. So plastic basket you place the parts into. Now, you would want to disassemble the airbrush into its basic component parts. All I'm going to do here is I'm going to remove the paint cup just so that it will fit in the basket okay. Just set that in there. Remove the lid. This is just for an illustration purposes. Now, there is a fill line, if you guys, I'm going to zoom in here, on the tank. If you guys can see that, it says max. You're not to put or fill this with any fluid beyond that point. I think that's explanatory. I would assume there's concern of the vibration may cause it to spill over. So I've got some ordinary tap water. Now, I guess guys use distilled water because tap water, of course, is going to contain calcium and lime. I'm only going to use it once. I'm not real worried about that. So I'm going to fill this up pretty far. Say about right there, what do you think? And you take your parts, whatever you want to clean, in this case this airbrush, and you simply drop it inside the tank, right? And it's completely submerged. You simply close the lid and you hit the on button. And I'm going to zoom in so you guys can watch this. The clean. I'll talk through the duration of this. And there we go. And that's it. That is as loud as it gets. So it's, you know, really fine vibration. The unit doesn't shake. It doesn't shake my workbench at all. It's really pretty quiet. No one in the household is going to complain about that. Kind of sounds like an old staticky TV a bit. But I noticed the first time I used it, I first used it on my Badger Patriot airbrush, which is this guy here. But I maintained this brush quite religiously, and I really didn't notice that much particulate come out. And then after I removed it, then I put in the Tamiya brush that I just talked about, this guy here, and I noticed chunks of stuff, literally chunks of stuff, starting to come out while I was using it. And this, you could see the dissolved paint, these little wisps of dark gray and black and brown material come off the airbrush. It was pretty cool looking. And all this, of course, was going on while Carlos and I were Skyping. So I think it works. I'm not sure it's a complete replacement for a good manual clean. You may want to buy a set of these TCP Global airbrush, cleaning brushes. You guys may have seen these. Now, I did use some of these to get in there and clean the nozzle and stuff, which had a lot of baked on crud. I noticed that using the cleaner helped loosen the particles, which made it a little easier to scrub these out. And then I cleaned it again. I cleaned that Tamiya one, actually. I used 3 of these cleaning cycles. And I'm pretty happy with the results, because I've tested this thing. It seems to work good. It took me longer to reassemble the darn thing than it did to use the cleaner. But I can say that I would definitely recommend one of these. Like I said, they're all over eBay. These can be had very reasonably, very affordably. If you want to look for an alternative method to do a little more intense clean of your airbrush and its components, I certainly think this is a good idea. So we should be getting near the end of the cleaning cycle here. But as you can see, it's not obtrusive, it's not loud, it's not shaking your table, really nothing to it. And of course I'll wipe this thing down when I pull it out of the tank. Alright, not much longer. I will be doing the video for my drawing on my giveaway. I'm going to do it either today or tomorrow, guys, so be looking here in the next 24 hours for that. Alright, here we go. That's it. That is all there is to it. So the cleaning cycle is complete. Like I said, it has stopped automatically. You simply open the lid, pull the basket out. Of course, it's going to be dripping with fluid or water a bit. Let me go ahead and zoom the camera back out. And you simply pull your parts out, reassemble your airbrush. You're good to go. That's all there is to it. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe this down, guys. I really appreciate you tuning in again, and everyone have a good afternoon.